What's going on, everyone? Back at it again. Hoops AM, baby. This is episode 5. We're excited again to get talking about all the recent events over the course of the past 2.5 weeks or so. Of course, the NBA playoffs is now done. We're excited to talk about the NBA Finals. Obviously, that was the first Game 7 since 2016, so some really exciting stuff. And then the NBA draft was tonight as well, so lots to talk about.
Yes. Yep, lots to talk
Um,
about. The Raptors gave us plenty of content, um, good or
Dude,
bad.
don't even get me started this early.
Raptors fans are in shambles right now. Well, I
Beyond
don't know. We
shambles,
should
yeah.
wait to see how he plays because this could be maybe they prove us wrong, but I mean,
Well, you know what? Like, I saw something on this guy I follow on YouTube or subscribe to on YouTube, Raptors Digest. His whole account's just all Raptors. That's all he talks about. And he had a live stream going on for the draft, and he was basically saying every time the Raptors fans doubt Masai and Bobby Webster with the pick, it does turn out for the best. Like with Scotty, I wanted Jalen
yeah,
Suggs. That turned out Jacoby Walter, he kind of fell last year, so that, or a few years ago, so that doesn't, no, last year, so that doesn't really count.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. It still hurts.
This is
But
like
anyway,
this will be their biggest. I think this is a bigger jump than when they took Scotty over Jalen Suggs.
oh, this is a way
Wait,
bigger
even though
jump
they had the fourth pick that year, I still think this is a bigger one.
for sure,
Um,
man.
but I think we should start out with Game 7 and the final series in general. Um,
Game 7.
Tyrese Halliburton injury makes it a little bit less climatic, even though Tyrese did get injured and then the Pacers were up at half. I think Andrew Nemhard hit the step back, put them up by 1 point.
That was a big
Um,
shot, man.
it was, yeah,
Like
he really proved
that
himself
made the
this way.
momentum definitely shift for me, at least.
Yeah. Um, but then OKC's defense really clamped down in the second half there. Um, they proved why we were having all-time defense discussions. I do think they are the. I think if people say they're the best all-time defense, they're not necessarily wrong. Um, that prevailed.
Do do you think they're best all time? Best all time defense,
Uh,
OKC Thunder?
Off the top of my head, I think you could go to like teams like not specific years, and you could say um, like the Bad Boy Pistons or like
Hmm.
I guess
I know
early
people
2000s
typically will
Pistons as
put in
well.
like yeah, that's what I was gonna say. People typically sneak in the Pistons, the Spurs, like 2014, 15 Spurs, people say
Yeah.
sometimes. The 80s Celtics, people say sometimes.
No, I'm taking them over all those teams convincingly besides the '04 Pistons because they literally beat prime Lakers. They literally stopped the Lakers 4 feet only on their defense because their best offensive player was Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, and I think the '08 Celtics could be somewhat close too. Kevin Garnett, you have Tony Allen, you have Rajon Rondo,
Yeah.
you have guys like that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
their defense
OKC,
was
their
great.
defense won them that game because nobody was shooting well from three. I think they made, I don't even know how many they made. Very few. If they made more, it was on really low percent. Shea was 8 for 25 from the field. He finished with 29 points. He was passing the ball well, but nobody really exploded for OKC on high efficiency. Their defense really helped them win. Um, but one of the sadder things I've seen watching an NBA game is Tyrese Halliburton going down there, comes out
For sure.
absolutely slinging. I mean, when he hit that third three, it was off a miss. I don't know if you caught it. It
I
was
remember
off of a
because that
miss,
first shot,
and
you're
he
like,
Dude, he caught that one again. And he said, I'm 2 for 3 right now. And he put it up, and that went in. OKC timeout. Mark Dagnall's coming out on the
and
floor,
he was
telling them to
talking
get
that
up.
talk. He
Like,
was
it
like,
was
I'm here,
crazy.
baby, I'm here.
It was like, this is a game. We're getting blessed at this game 7. And then when he goes down
Hmm.
and players start hitting the floor and they start crying, it's never because of how bad it hurts. It's because he knew he was done.
Yeah.
And, just really sad to see. I bet you feel the same. Maybe
Yeah,
on
man.
OKC's defense as well and that injury.
There were some people in the media that, and I hate when this happens, man, but it's definitely a conversation to be had. A few people in the media were basically saying, like, when you know a player has a severe calf strain of that level, in a game 7 situation, if he's your franchise player, you don't let him play. It's hard to say that, man. Especially a
Uh,
player having a crazy run like Tyrese Halliburton has been having this playoffs. There's no way you can deny a competitive player like that who has so much to prove, who didn't play on Team USA, who was rated the most overrated player in the league, and then you're gonna tell him, "Oh, oh yeah, Tyrese, you hit 3 or 4 game-winning shots this playoff run." But we're not letting you play game 7 to actually close out your dream for Indy, right? You can't really do that as a coaching staff, so you can definitely see why he was pushing, why he decided to push through. Um, but man, that really hurt the Pacers, obviously, and you just felt their momentum die and collapse at that
yeah,
moment. We saw quotes from Benedict Mathurin and people like that after the game that were just like, we were
yeah,
completely deflated after that happened.
yeah. And I wouldn't say a lot of people are comparing it to the KD situation, but the KD situation, he had missed the whole conference finals with that injury. And did he get injured game four? He tore his Achilles. Um,
Yeah, he got injured previously and then came back 2 games later.
yeah, he had missed the conference finals, and then he had missed all the games leading up to game four, right? So he had been out with some significant time, and it was like the Warriors are down 3-1. No, he came back game five. He was like the Warriors are down 3-1. Can KD come back and save them? So he hadn't played significant time. That felt
In
very
the
rushed,
sixth.
like very rushed.
I remember as a
Um,
Raptors fan, man, I was like actually like we might be screwed. Like as soon as KD
Because he
came
started,
back.
it was like halfway through the, I think it was like the second quarter. He had like 17 points. He couldn't miss.
He was eating us, and I'm
Yeah,
like, bro, he just got off injury. Like, you
yeah.
can't give us 1 game buffer to get ready or nothing, man. Like, shoot.
Yeah, prime KD right
Um,
there. Who was better than Steph? Maybe we should have that conversation on the next episode. But
Facts. Oh,
um,
especially in this off season, guys, we're gonna have a lot of like we talked a lot about the regular season and what's been going on in the league, but
yeah,
I think what me and Andrew honestly find the most joy in is just like all time debates and like fun hypotheticals and stuff like that. What if?
yeah,
So we'll definitely dive into that more
yeah.
this summer
But
for sure.
what I was trying to get at was that I don't think you can compare it to the KD injury because he came back after missing a lot of time. Tyrese played game six. He got injured in game five. Like he
Hmm.
played game six. Obviously didn't injure it further, we don't think. Came back in game seven, looked amazing in the first few minutes. Like didn't look like he lost a step. And then that injury obviously proved us wrong. But
Hmm.
just hope he gets better, man. I mean, in the moment, I said, okay, when players have these injuries, I don't care how important the game is, like, we need to stop playing them. But when you think about, like, if you're in the NBA and you're a young star, like, you shoot around in the driveway thinking about NBA Finals Game 7. Like, they couldn't tell him he wasn't playing that game. He would have laughed at them. Um,
Hmm. I'm
I
with
think
you.
I think it's good that he played, not that he got injured, but you can't sit out game seven and wonder what if. Like you wouldn't be able to live with that the rest of your life.
And I think overall he gained a lot this postseason. I saw a few, or this playoff, I saw a few people online saying the same thing. Like, yeah, he did lose the finals, but the amount of respect he gained
Oh
around the
man.
league from what he's been doing, like
Yeah.
we're gonna, especially this offseason, have to have some point guard rankings.
Some
Maybe we'll do
player rankings.
a point guard, yeah, a tier ranking. Get like another screen of like
Yeah.
the rankings.
Yeah.
If we could figure that out, that would be fire. That'd be a fire concept. Because a few
Is he
people
the
that have been listening have been like, "Yo, low key, sometimes you guys are talking about like a specific stat or player, and I wish I saw it on the screen." So if we can do that, that'd be
Okay,
fire at
yeah.
some point.
That's
But yeah,
fair.
yeah, that'd be tough. Um,
Is he the greatest pacer of all time? I'm just thinking in my head.
I think he's undeniably the greatest player to ever play for the Pacers, just off of the simple fact of
The greatest
nobody in the
player to
his
play for them or the greatest pacer? Because I think
both.
okay,
I
okay.
think he's both. Um, just straight up because no player in the history of the NBA playoffs has made more game-winning shots in a playoff run. Like I'm gonna be telling my kids about this 2024, 2025 Tyrese Halliburton playoff run because the things he was doing was out of this world, man.
Yeah.
Like beyond like we think of Kobe, LeBron, Mike
Dude,
as like the
he has
clutchest
he has
players of all
more
time
he had more game winners in this playoff run than Kobe's career, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
in the
Kobe's known
playoffs.
as
Yeah.
okay, yeah, in the playoffs. Like Kobe's
hmm
known as clutch, but in the playoffs, I think he only had like two or three real game winners. The one over Phoenix, but that's a crazy stat.
Yeah, he's ice in veins, man, and like I'm super happy for him just turning those narratives around because low key, I'm not gonna act like I wasn't on that train. Like I was calling Tyrese Halliburton buns at the start of the season. I was like, nah, like did the Monsters get this guy superpowers or something? But he proved me wrong. He proved a lot of
That
the
most
NBA world
overrated got to
wrong.
him.
It definitely did, and I like how he responded. There's not many players that can respond well when being faced with that type of criticism. You see someone like Ben Simmons getting that criticism, and you crumble from the pressure. But yeah, man, he thrives off of it, and I think that makes me even more impressed with the player than like players with different mentality.
Yeah, man. We gotta give props to the whole Pacers, honestly. Like, made it they're one of the key reasons this is one of the best plays I've watched since the Raptors run. The best, not one
hmm
of. Um, yeah, props to them. But you gotta
Yeah, such a
think,
fun,
so
scrappy team, man.
yeah, a really good team. Like we had at one point in the playoffs, people stopped saying like, "What an underdog, scrappy team fighting their way," and then when they got to the finals, it was like this team's actually just good. They have a lot of
And I was
talent.
just about to say that, like, I almost like I'm taking away from them almost to classify them as a scrappy team. They're a lot
Yeah,
more skilled than a lot of people think, and even like the scrappier players, like a TJ McConnell getting into that like midi fade, he can always get like that kind of like short range midi he has, kind of like like
closer
what
is he's
Jude
closer
does.
than the free throw line. He's almost at like the
He's
circle.
at like the circle, yeah, the charge circle, bro. He just rises up, and as an undersized guard, man, that's OP, and that's like that can like set you from like a 6 point per game player to like a 12, 14 point per game player when you add that, just like you can get to your spots. And TJ's another player. Well, honestly, the whole Pacers roster, I would say,
Whole roster went up in value.
Besides Miles Turner in the finals,
Oh
I
my
would
God.
say, because bro could
Dude,
not
he
hit a
was so
shot.
bad. Miles
Um,
Turner was so bad, bro.
Yeah, but most of the players on the team stepped up, and kudos to them, man. They've proved that this is no fluke. They're a well-oiled machine, and their defensive intensity at some point within the series made me think, is OKC really the better defensive team in this series, or is it Indiana? And we were just having the conversation, is OKC the greatest defensive team of all time? So kudos to them, man.
Yeah.
Great team overall.
Yeah. Benedict Mathurin stepped up, fellow Canadian. Um, the whole series was really like a good representation of team basketball, like the way both those teams played. Um, they said it on the broadcast, but it was like if you're a coach of a youth team or you're coach of a high school team, this is how you want your players to play. Like everybody's involved. None of this ISO stuff. Even though OKC's offense sometimes a lot was ISO through Shea, and his efficiency wasn't the greatest in some games, but still overall,
Sometimes you
just
have a player that's so good, that's the way you have to
the
play.
camaraderie was really good.
Mhm. I have a question for you. What would you say was the biggest surprise for you in this series? Or what player do you think surprised you the most, whether that's a positive surprise or a negative surprise? Who really caught your attention?
Player that caught my attention, besides Game 7, he played one of the worst Game 7s I've seen. Game 7 of the NBA Finals, like players, like role players that are able to surprise you or not. It's if they don't play well, like you can't really hold it against them. But it was Obi Toppin. Um, and this whole playoff run, honestly, like when we think about what Obi Toppin was, drafted by New York, a high flyer.
Hmm
Um,
Kind of like
it was
Colin
like
Murray
it
boy.
was like it was like can this guy is this guy a legit NBA player? Like, does he give you value on the court besides when he gets in transition doing East Bays? So to see like a team in the NBA Finals use him all the way through the playoff run and lean on him in spots like to get these offensive rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Obi Toppin, you have a smaller player on you. Like you need to go score here, and he was a lot. It's like game seven, he struggled. I think he had 4 or 5 turnovers, didn't make too many shots, but his defense was
Yeah.
always there. His effort. Um, Not that he was the best player to step up, but in terms of surprising me and like feeling really good for him, that was Obi Toppin. I mean, TJ McConnell, what he did was surprising.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a negative player because that's always fun. Who played badly? Isaiah
Just
Joe
while
just
you're,
fell out of the rotation. They just stopped playing him.
I know that was a little weird.
Yeah.
I actually,
Well, I don't
yeah,
think it
you
was
know
weird.
what?
He wasn't making shots, which is kind of what
I
he's
was
normally
gonna
doing.
say, yeah, like that. There was definitely reason behind it. I really like your Obi Toppin pick, man. Me and some of the boys that I was watching Game 7 with, like Matthew and Alex, we were talking about it, and we were like, man, as you said, came into the league. I believe, did he win the slam dunk contest? One of those tragic years when nobody watched. Who
One of
knows,
the
right? Because
terrible ones.
nobody
I
watches it
think he
anymore.
did. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, like dunk contest champion, he's known as the guy high flyer in transition, as you already stated. But his ability to now be known as borderline like a 3 and D type of guy who also is able to put on a lot of pressure onto the rim. There were games this playoffs where he hit four, five threes pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
And he's confident, man. You're seeing over the course of this playoffs, his confidence is just rising and rising. And it seemed like he kind of hit a little bit of a plateau or a climax right before game seven. As we know, turnovers hurt him a little bit. And maybe
Yeah.
the
They
moment
had
was just
players.
the lights were a little too
I
bright
mean,
for him.
yeah,
But
when your best
he's
point
great.
guard goes out and other people have to create, I think that's gonna happen.
That's definitely
Um,
true. That's
but yeah,
definitely true.
were you thinking of anybody besides him, or did you have him as well?
On Indiana's side, that's who I had. Of course, I'm a big TJ McConnell guy, so he would be my 1A, 1B sort of dude. On OKC's side, it could be seen as a given because of his championship experience, but Alex Caruso was just so big for me, man. Over the course of this whole playoff run, his his ability to just be in the lanes, him and J Dub were really effective in the lanes, anticipating over the course of the playoffs, and also just his switchability. You saw his leadership in moments. He was a vocal leader on the court after making big plays. He was a big energy guy. He was turning them around momentum wise. And what was the biggest shock for me personally was his offensive lead because there were games where like you're looking at Alex Caruso, you're like, Alex, please, if you're wide open, please dribble handoff with Shea or something. We don't want you shooting the ball. Game seven, he hit, I believe, three or four threes, and then he was borderline third option for OKC in the finals. Chet was not really present. So just being a veteran and acknowledging, okay, we have a young roster. Chet's not really playing up to his capabilities, and that's okay. We have a deep team, but let me take it upon myself to step up when that's not typically my role, just to ensure that we still have a chance. Of course, it's a seven-game series, so you have to do what you have to do. He did his thing, man. So props to Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, he's established himself as one of the best role players in the league. He's got 2 championships he played massive roles on. Not even near one of the best players on that team, but he finds a way every time to add value to them.
Hmm.
Um, One of the things I wanted to ask, and one of the graphics that caught my detail as I watched the finals, they always have these things that pop up, but it
Hmm.
was Shea and J-Dub. I think they had the second most points combined in a final series behind LeBron and KD in 2016 as a duo.
Wait, LeBron and KD?
LeBron and Kyrie. Holy, wow.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I immediately said the only reason they had more was because of Game 7. But
Um,
at the same time, like that graphic was around the early parts of the game. So I was like, okay, maybe they
okay,
pass them because it's Game 7, right?
yeah.
But yeah, it's really impressive,
It makes me
man. They
wonder like where we're gonna rank them for like all-time duos
all-time duos.
on a finals winning team. I wouldn't say as high as that graphic suggests because they weren't consistent really. They kind of traded good and bad games. Shea had some. He played well in Game 7, even though his efficiency was bad. He distributed the ball a lot better. Um,
Hmm.
there was a game he took over in the fourth. He ended with over 30. He had 0 assists that game. J-Dub had the 40-point game. Um, so they kind of exchanged good and bad games. It wasn't like Kyrie and LeBron going 41-41
True,
like
or like
those
a Luca
masterclasses.
Kyrie like last year
Yeah,
sort of
I
deal.
wouldn't put it on that level at all, but it's good to see them, man, and it's scary for the league, like at this
Extremely.
young to be doing that.
Yeah, man.
Their
I
whole
just hope they
core.
don't end up in a Celtic situation like we're seeing now, where players are just getting basically dumped off to avoid being having to pay that extra luxury tax with all these new CBA rules and restrictions. So hopefully they can
Yeah,
have a few guys that are a little humble, able to take a tax cut or a pay cut, my apologies, but
yeah.
we'll see. We will
I
see,
think I
man.
think Shea's gonna get the max this summer. They're saying.
Okay.
Um, maybe J-Dub as well. I'm not sure, but yeah,
And
it
man, do
just.
do we no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do we like would we bank on we've all the past champions? There hasn't been a repeat since 2017-18. It feels like
Which is
every champ.
crazy.
It feels like every champ we've had, we've been like, okay, this team can go
This
back to
is gonna
back.
be the
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
those
That's
Giannis
how I
Bucks
feel
was
every
like
year.
those Giannis Bucks was like, I don't know who's beating Giannis right now.
Hmm.
22. I don't. 22, I'd say is the exception. I don't know if anyone thought the Warriors were going back to
No,
back.
no.
Though I definitely thought the Nuggets could win like 3 out of the 4 next championships after 2023.
I
Like,
thought the Nuggets were, I thought the Celtics were, and now I think OKC will. So
yeah,
I don't know. Hopefully I'm
I
wrong
think
again, honestly. It's been
OKC
pretty
has
fun.
they have youth compared to those teams more on their side, even though Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, honestly, are
And they had
either
a pick in the lottery tonight, I think.
they
Not
did, yep,
lottery, but first round.
they
Lottery? Yeah,
did.
lottery.
First round, 15.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
and they
Is lottery
have
top 14 or top 15?
14.
Oh, okay.
They have lottery picks sitting on their bench too, like Nikola Topic. Um,
True, first
like
NBA
they have,
champion to never play a NBA game 1 minute ever.
yeah.
That's sick, bro.
But
Shout out Nikola Topic.
I would say out of all teams to win in the last bit, they are in the best position for a dynasty to be formed.
Okay, I think they're in the best position for a dynasty to be born. I think they have the second highest odds to repeat. Um, Besides like the Celtics. Like I thought the Celtics were gonna repeat this year
Me too.
based on how they played last year. Not
And
really
they
how
were
they
and
played
the
this year.
season they were lights out in the
They were
regular
they were
season too.
decent this year. They were decent for sure. To go back to your duos comment, I like that a lot. I would say they're not in that like KD Curry tier yet, obviously, but I believe they're considering the injury landscape of the NBA right now, they're the clear cut best duo in the league, and I don't think you can argue.
Clear cut best duo in the league.
We have remember that graphic I sent you of the Stephen A segment? He had
Yeah,
he had KD and Amen
I
Thompson
know. I've
four.
seen
He
that.
had
They haven't played a
Cat
game
and
together.
Brunson. Uh, Tatum and Brown weren't in there because they're not current. He had Jamal Murray and Jokic too. That's who he had. So it was in
Where do you
between
have
those two.
Luca and LeBron?
He had them three. So that was the
Yeah,
five.
you can't. Yeah, they're definitely the best duo in the NBA right now. I mean, that'd be kind of anything. It'd be disrespect to say anything else.
Two All NBA players, two NBA champions. Yeah, you got to give it to him.
MVP. Shea just put together one of the best seasons a player's ever had.
Hmm.
Final regular season MVP, scoring title, Finals MVP.
And he's the first player to do all that with the Western Conference Finals MVP. So he's in the class of his own now, baby.
Yeah.
One question to add on, just to kind of end off this final segment. What do you think this Finals MVP and this NBA championship does in terms of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's resume going forward, or where we see him amongst the greats?
It just more gets things like off his back. Like we've seen players like Giannis before he won in 21, Jokic before he won in 23,
Hmm.
um, LeBron before he won his first chip in Miami. It's like, okay, You're putting together these scoring titles. You're winning. You're in MVP comes every year, but you're not winning championships. Like, when are you going to
Right.
start winning? When are you going to start winning? And then the pressure builds. Every year you don't win. So for him to win this early, have the experience, like that was one thing we were saying. Like before this year, it was not crazy to be like, is OKC still 1 year out from being like experienced enough to
Well,
go on a championship run?
and even their GM said they're way early. Like on the stage on their championship parade, Sam Presti was like, "Yeah, this is way earlier than we expected, guys. Just so you know." But anyway, we're here, right?
They won 24 games like 4 years ago. Like straight
Yeah, that.
rebuild. Watching a rebuild work out in real time is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
Kenny was like, "Bro, it's like watching one of my videos, like
yeah.
100%."
So I think it cements him. Well, this is a better conversation. So where do you have him in the league as best players? So I think it's too early to talk about him, like what it does. Obviously, it helps him a lot. But I think for right now, we could talk about where we have him.
Well, okay, so I did have Shea as my MVP this year. You did have Nikola Jokic as your MVP this year. Shea had I would say a top three guard season all time this year. I would say Jokic probably had a top three center season this year.
And the other two seasons
I,
are him.
yeah. And I don't think either of their play decreased during the playoffs. I would say, if anything, Jokic's play might have decreased a little more just because he wasn't playing too good until that game seven.
He
Ultimately,
had
I have
legit
to
like
give
he
it
had
to
like 12
Jokic.
point games these playoffs that we had never seen him do.
Yeah. I would say it would be a slap in the face to give it to Jokic or to give it away from Jokic, take it from Jokic and give it to Shea as a three-time champion, one-time
Three
Finals
time
MVP champion. Like,
three time MVP,
or what did I say?
3 time champ.
Oh, okay, my bad. Three-time MVP. Um, but yeah, man, I think I still have to give it to Jokic, and I don't know if I'm leaning more towards 1A, 1B or just clear 1-2
So
because
you
it
so you
might be
have
clear
you have
1-2.
Shea like two for sure. Like you don't have Giannis as better than Shea. You don't have
No,
Luka as better than Shea.
no, no.
I would probably still have Giannis. Going into next season, I would still say Jokic and Giannis are the two best players in the league. Shea
Yep.
is three now. It's kind of anything. Luka's the only conversation just because like Luka can give you 50 on any given night. Um, but Shea's shown he can too, and Shea's more athletic. He plays better defense, so I'm putting Shea over Luka, top three for sure. And then right now, I think it's him and Giannis going at that two spot because Giannis is still. I mean, what he was doing in the first round is ridiculous against the NBA, the team that went to the finals that we thought that turned out to be very good. One of the
Yo.
defenses we said was you said was comparable to OKC's. Like he was
Hmm.
putting buckets up on them more than any other player they did in the playoffs, more than Shea
He was.
was.
That's facts. That's
Way more
facts.
than
Yeah, he
like
was torch. He
way
was
more.
torching them. He was torching them. Yeah. Yeah, that's
uh,
valid. I think Shea might be a top five point guard now, man.
all time.
I would debatably already rank him above guys like John Stockton and Chris Paul. Because no matter how good their longevity is or whatever, like straight up, this guy wiped the NBA of every major award this year. Like literally just queen swept the league.
Chris
You
Paul
know
is
what
an
I mean,
MVP, right?
man? Like Chris
Chris,
Paul's best achievement is All NBA
no,
first
he
team.
doesn't.
Seven or nah.
Which
I'd say
Shea's
top
done
75 is his
3 times
biggest
in a row, but
achievement. Chris Paul is an Olympian, I guess.
dude,
Like
he almost
Olympic
he
gold
almost won in
medalist.
2021. He was up 2-0 in the finals. That was his chance.
Too bad
But
he's
yeah, like
garb.
if he doesn't have an MVP and a ring and Shea has both,
bro. Exactly, bro. Like I'm thinking
Same
just
with
off the top of
Stockton.
my head, Steph, Magic, old heads argue if you want, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is not better than Shea, bro. Like I don't think anybody after those three are better than Shea, and you can debatably already say Shea over Isaiah Thomas. I don't know. You could have Big O
Is,
there. I don't know if he's a point
is
guard
Shea
or a
better than
shooting guard.
Kyrie all time?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Like as nice as Kyrie is, he was never an MVP caliber play. He was never top five MVP ever in his career ever.
Caliber. Mm,
He
wait,
was
but
never
so
rate.
you
He
so
was
you
literally
think
was never top five in MVP voting.
so you think
Shea's
like
been top three the past 3 years.
so you have Chris Paul over Kyrie all time.
Hmm. See, this is where
Because
it
like
gets
because you were
sticky.
because you're like debating Chris Paul and Shea, but then you said Shea right away over Kyrie, which I would say I would probably. I don't know if I'd flip that. I don't know.
Shea Shea had a better finals than Kyrie.
No, 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 no. No, his team won and he was the best player. Kyrie wasn't the best player, but Kyrie did hit like the biggest shot in NBA history
That's
almost.
yeah, but I feel like you're weighing the moment too heavy. Shea averaged 31, 6 and 5,
What did
and was
Kyrie
Finals
average?
MVP.
What
Not
did?
30, not 30. I'll search it up right now. I'll search
Yeah,
it up right now.
because I'm not even like to be sarcastic. I'm actually trying to figure out. Because
No,
I
I
don't think it
know.
was much
I'll
less.
look
Because he had
too.
like 41, 43, a couple. Like, didn't he have a couple?
Yeah, dang. You know what? Do you really think Kyrie had a better final? Shea was literally Finals MVP. Like I
Against
guess you're
against a
going against the
against
GOAT.
a against a better team too.
So Shea, okay, so we know Shea averaged 35 and 5 in the playoffs. I'm just on playoff stats right now, but Kyrie averaged 25, 5 and 3
In the 2016 finals?
in the 2016 playoffs. But I'm saying
Okay.
playoffs wise, Shea already averages 30. So playoffs as a whole wise, we're giving it to Shea already. And then
Okay.
finals will go down. Okay, game one, 26.
Wait,
Game
who's this?
two,
Who's this? Shay?
this Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Game one, 26. Game two, 10.
Damn.
Game three,
No, this
30.
they went down 3-1, so he's gonna have some stinkers here.
Game three, 30. Game four, 34. Game five, 41.
Yeah, bro.
Game six, 23. And game seven, 26. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Biggest shot
That
in
is
NBA
right.
history though. Maybe second biggest shot.
That is less than a 30-point average, I agree. Or by my
But is that
calculations
is
at
that what
least.
we're doing here? Like just literally doing the math and saying that's a better finals? Because Kyrie went to a game seven against the best team ever, we thought, and hit the shot to win LeBron his third ring, and
That's
help win
very
LeBron's
fair,
third ring.
man.
Like
And
I
he
don't
had
know.
me convinced he was just straight up better than unanimous MVP Steph that finals. I was actually like, bro, is he just literally just better at everything?
He gave him buckets, man. He was giving
Yeah,
Clay buckets. He was giving every. That's a
yeah,
great conversation.
all defense Clay. Yeah, that
That's a
actually
great
was a
conversation.
random one, but I think Shea might be top five, bro.
So you, yeah,
No,
yeah,
he's definitely top five. He's definitely top. I don't think you can argue that he's not top five point guard all time.
you definitely can, like for sure. You don't think you can't argue that Shea's not top
No,
five?
no, bro, because he literally had the greatest. Him and MJ had the two. They had the squad wipe season where you literally get every award. They're the scoring champ. Actually, it's not every award, but this is the list.
Kobe did it
Sc-
too.
no, no, he didn't. He
Yeah, he did.
scoring champ. No, he didn't. Scoring champ,
He's the fourth guard ever,
MVP.
bro. Trust.
Scoring champ, MVP, Finals MVP, championship. I think those were the four. It's Kobe too. Kobe
I
MJ.
think Kobe and
I don't think,
um
bro, Kobe was never the scoring champ any of the years where he won the championship. Like
I
08,
really thought he
09, he wouldn't
was.
have been the scoring champ.
Maybe I'm wrong.
But yeah, anyway, it's him and Michael Jordan that's done that. Like the only two guards ever. And MJ is like consensus like top two all time, right? So um
Kareem.
um I don't know. Maybe that's a hot take, bro. Maybe that's a hot take. I'm liking that one though. Like it's a little spicy, but
Okay.
I feel like you could
I'd have
convince
to look
most
at it because
people.
then there's weird players like Oscar Robertson, where it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think this will be Shea's last MVP? Because I have a weird feeling that it kind of might be. Because their team's just going to get better and better, and his stats are probably going to get worse.
Yeah, because Jokic kind of defeated voters fatigue by just putting up numbers where it's like you literally cannot not give him the MVP, and I don't know if Shea has that capability. Um, to say it's his last though is a hot take. He's so young and he just had that season that to say it's his last MVP, I don't know about that, but
That's fair. I'm just thinking of people like Wemby that
yeah,
are still emerging. But even the
Cooper just entered
Spurs
the
just got
league.
Dylan. I love that pick for them, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, maybe
Do you
we
want to low-key
can.
transition to the draft?
I was gonna say, well, I don't even really want to think about it, but we can.
Yeah, man, it's been a very tough day for me and Andrew, man. I zoomed home. I was at this event with my mom, and I'm like, Mom, we gotta leave. We gotta get home for 9 o'clock, watch the draft. Got a nice meal. I'm ready to go. And I'm just thinking, okay, Common Maluwat, Derek Queen. Those are the two bigs that are available that are actually like nice with it, right?
Yep.
And every pick goes by. No common, no common. Now my heart starts to race a little bit. Sweating under the arms a little bit. I'm like, oh shoot, it's about to happen. And the first syllable is and I go
No.
all
I
in.
was
I
so
was
I
like,
was
what, cuz?
no,
Who is this guy?
he pronounced the whole name and I thought it was Common Malwich because the TV I was watching on in the bar had no sound. So I see
Your
and then
viewer discretion is
and then it's
advised.
Murray Boyles, so then I see them and I'm thinking Malwatch and I'm like, we just drafted him, let's go. And they pan to this guy getting out of his chair and literally swearing that he was
Literally
drafted.
pissed, bro. He's like looking at his
He
girl
said
like,
that.
bro, are we serious?
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen a more ungrateful
No,
NBA
because
prospect, literally ever. I've never seen that happen. I don't think I've seen people like a little like upset slash nonchalant, bro. The first words
he
you
looked at
utter,
or fuck.
yes, like the first words you utter, bro. Like, way to win us over, man. Like, all Raptors
We shouldn't
comments
have to
right
win him
now are like,
over, my
ship
goodness.
him off immediately, ship him
We
off immediately.
we had the ninth pick, and like you said, like we said in real time, if you have the ninth pick and you're planning on drafting someone who's ranked 23rd in the draft, which is what we did, we jumped 14 spots when we're in the lottery to draft a player. Trade your pick and just trade for the
Just
20th
trade
pick.
down, you
Just
idiots.
trade for the 20th pick and then draft him at 20. Nobody's going to take him before that.
Literally, yeah, trade the first round pick for the 20th pick and on future first. Similar to what New Orleans did to get Derek Queen. They traded their pick and a future pick. Or
Yes.
no, they traded
At
yeah,
least get
that's what they did.
value for it. But no, we're going to jump more than double our draft spot
For a
when we
player
need a
that
center.
doesn't even
When
for a
we
player that doesn't match what we actually have going on in any way. Like, why do you
we
draft
have eight
another
wings,
6'9",
bro.
6'10" wing that can't shoot, just plays defense? Like, thanks, we have like Dollar Tree OG Anunoby now when we already have Scotty Barnes, O'Shea, like my God, RJ Barrett, Grady
Grady
Dick,
Dick,
like, like in Mazai we
Brandon
don't
Ingram,
trust, bro. At this point,
Brandon
I'm so
Ingram.
done. Brandon,
We
I
have so
always
many
forget we even
wings.
have
Me
Brandon
too.
Ingram.
Me too.
Like, guys, that's just off the dome. Like, I know we have other forwards because of course we do. Even Jacoby Walters is shooting
Jacoby
guard, small
Walters.
forward, and he said he prefers playing small forward. Like, and then you go and draft a small forward. That is literally
Can't shoot.
he puts up his highlights and it's just him grabbing and dunking. Like, we don't want to. Why
Guys,
did we just drop Obi Toppin?
guys, if you're wondering, like, our only center on the roster that's playable is Jakob Poeltl, who we are actively shipping. Like, we are actively trying to trade him, and you have a Duke star center sitting there who is projected to go top 7. He falls to 9. You can sit there and draft him, and you have a center, and you can ship Jakob with no worries, and you don't pick him. Not only do you not pick him, you don't pick the guy projected 10th, 11th, 12th. Maybe you jump to 13, you jump to 24, and you don't trade your pick to draft him at 24. So at this point, it's like, what are we like? Not even like sarcastically, like, what are we doing? Like, literally, what are we doing? Like, what are
Like,
we planning
literally,
on doing?
I put that up on my story. I was like just literally confused. Like 10 DMs back, people just like livid, confused, trolling. I'm like, I'm not in the mood to get trolled, boys. Like this now is not the time. This is like serious emotional damage here. Like, give me a second. Man, because it just hurts. You see all these teams drafting well. You see obviously the top two picks were pretty
Not
consensus.
even
You
drafting well, just doing something that makes sense. Like, just not doing something stupid is also
grabbing
drafting well.
players that fit their situation that you can see actually working in a way or another. There is zero situation where I see this working for the Raptors. Like, I don't like this prospect. I'm sorry. And like you guys might clip this or whatever and then send it to us 2 years later when
I was gonna say,
he's like a
like
nice
all
player
star.
averaging 15 and 10 or something. But bro, I am not on
Dude,
I'm not on this train at
dude,
all. Like,
this also isn't fair to him because he won't even get the opportunity to prove that he's a nice player to become a 15-10 player. He won't get
well,
the
that's what
chance to
happens
do
when you
that
go and start
because we
swearing as soon as you
already
get drafted.
we already have so many players in this position. There is no reason to do this if you're the Toronto Raptors. There is zero reason. And if you're going to do it, trade the pick and do it. Just it like everything they did tonight, just like I
You're
don't
telling
know.
me Kasparis is on the board. Kasparis Yakushonis, a young guard, could have been backup guard for quickly. We don't have any guards besides Shed. Could have had him.
And you seen
Um,
Houston the second we fucking took them? They're sitting on the clock with 10. They take 30 seconds and pick
saying
Common.
this one,
They're like, these
looking at
guys,
Common on a silver platter because we're idiots.
dude, I bet they were stunned when oh my gosh.
And even to see Derek Queen fall as far as he fell, bro, I was astonished. Like, he is going to be nice, and he's going to be one of those players, like kind of like a Donovan Mitchell that fell to 14, where you're like, what were they doing that night? Especially when you have weird picks, like Igor Devin went to Brooklyn at like 7 or something, and I was like, ew, but let's go. Common's still on the board. I don't know. It's been a kind of a weird draft night. I'm not gonna lie.
Even
But
the
moral
forward
of the
that
story
fell
is
to
I don't trust Masai Ujiri. I don't trust Bobby Webster. And unless we trade for a center this year, like Domantas Sabonis or something, Mark Williams is already off the board. He got shipped off to Phoenix. Like,
yeah,
we're screwed.
Phoenix. So Micah, Phoenix has Common because they have Houston's pick. Remember in that trade. So
Yeah, because yeah, yeah.
they addressed their
They
center
tra
situation
I'm
everyone
pretty
was
sure
talking about.
Houston traded that draft the draft rights to Common.
Yep. So they addressed the center situation that everyone was talking about. What are you gonna do? They have Common and Mark Williams now.
And they also have one more guy. Hold on.
Nick Richards.
Yes.
I
I
mean,
wonder why, like,
he was
I
a
don't know why
mistake
they're
available
trying.
last year.
Yeah, no, he's not the greatest. Um,
But yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know what's been a worse moment as a Raptors fan, Andrew. Tonight or draft lottery? It's just I feel like a Bulls fan, low key. Like, it's just been straight paid for a while.
The draft lottery was worse because it was like so much hype over there.
We wanted it so bad, bro.
Because it was like if you're in the draft lottery and you get a high enough pick, like you can't make a mistake that bad, like what they did tonight. At 9, you can
Well, at
just
this point, I don't even know at this point,
yeah,
bro.
like would they have
Like, I don't
drafted
even
Com? Would they
know.
have drafted Common at 2? Like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't
Oh,
know.
shoot, bro. I have no clue. I
It's
have no
bad when you
clue.
have to decide what's the worst moment in Raptors franchise history, and both of them are within a month of each other. Oh,
Shoot, and is this giving like Andrea Bognati, like,
this is giving a dude that is in the league for 2 years, and you randomly in 2030 you see him in the G League hoop, and you say, "Remember when we drafted him ninth and he was projected 24th?" And then we go back to watching whatever we're watching. This
oh
like he's not
man,
gonna play the
I
first 2 years. We just drafted a dude 9. He does not deserve to be in the rotation the first 2 years unless they like give him a chance. If they're like, screw it, are you better than Grady Dick? Which he's not. Like I that would be like what they're gonna have to say to give him a chance. I don't know.
he shoots 27% from three. Um,
My lord. Not even big bro, because people
like,
make a living in
bro,
the NBA shooting bad from three. The problem is that we don't need that. Like
at
we
all.
we
We
don't
already have that, bro. We have that. We have defenders. That's literally the only reason we were winning games and we didn't have a better pick in the draft is because we have a gritty team that plays defense, which we already have covered, and then you go and get another defender for some reason. Like
it's like
this
that.
ain't the 2019 like bench mob where like we had all these guys and it's all fun and dandy and we have Kawhi Leonard. Like, no, bro. Our best player is Brandon Ingram. Our best player is Scotty Barnes. We need a star and we need a star now. If not, like we're pretty much screwed or just playing meaningless basketball like the play-in merchant Chicago Bulls.
We are I can't say we're worse than the Bulls right now, but it's
I would
just like
almost rather be the Bulls now.
no. No, 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 no. Because they don't have, they
Oh, it's
actually
been
don't
a
have
long
like
day,
any
Andrew. It's been a
help.
long
Like they
day.
don't even have young good. They have Kobe White, which would be our best player probably.
No, is Kobe White better than Bi? He is nice.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is
I was thinking
nice.
you were gonna say, is he better than Scotty? I think he's better than Bi.
Is Bi is Scotty our best player or Bi?
Is RJ? RJ was our best player last year.
Shout out RJ, man. Hopefully they don't ship him off like they said they were
Yeah.
gonna.
Oh my. And that's the other thing. Our best player last year, born in Canada, hooped last year, and he's the only dude we have in trade talks.
Like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I actually don't get it. And then there's people that are on the media, like Stephen A. After we draft, Stephen A. is just ripping our team, basically saying, "Yeah, I look at the Toronto Raptors and I just see a bunch of players. I don't really see any leaders. It's just like a bunch of players." And I'm like, bro, we're literally in the lottery for a reason. Like, why are you just shredding us on national
Yeah,
television? Like,
like
we're actively trying to get the roster together, but this is not helping at all.
no matter
At
what
all.
we did, like we're not trying to compete like the next year or two, but it's just like
No.
you'll never be in a position to compete if you're jumping up 14 spots when you have the ninth pick. Like
Now, if
when
you're
you're
if you're
when you're
bought,
stacking up on one position and like absolutely ignoring the spots you're actively trying to trade, like those just aren't recipes for success.
bro, remember in 2021, 2022, when we had about seven or eight, six, eight small forwards, and then we traded them all because we realized it was a dumb idea, and then here come 2025 and we're just doing it again.
Yes,
Like,
I'm well
are
aware.
you brain dead, cuz? Can we get a center, please? Like, isn't that? I'm starting to feel like the
We're gonna
Lakers
have to
need
hit
a
the buyout
center,
markets
bro. Honestly,
when you could have just
honestly,
drafted.
did
Yeah.
you see that guy from the CBA that got drafted in the lottery and he had to come down from the stands? This
No.
Chinese youth, he's 7'2", like 280. Um,
Oh, for the Nah, no.
The Grizzlies drafted him.
Yeah, the Grizzlies I meant. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was
I did see a
random,
clip of
man.
that.
All the boys on the broadcast, like Stephen A. and Bob Myers and them, were like, guys, I can't lie, we have no idea who this guy is, but hey, shout out Memphis for taking a swing.
Him and
I
Edie, yeah.
rocked with the transparency, bro. I like that.
Twin Towers Part 2 in Memphis.
Yeah, bro. Nah, they had up a graphic of all the Chinese players, and I just thought of I just went back to my team, bro. Like all those for some reason, all the Chinese players had the nicest like ruby cards and stuff.
Yeah, that center, that Zing. I
Xing
forget his
Shi
name.
or whatever, bro. I forgot for his
Yeah.
name, but he played on. I think he played on Houston too. Zhao Chi, Zhao Chi.
Yep.
I think that yeah, Zhao Chi, bro. He was nice. He
He
was
was
nice,
nice, bro. He was a no money spent god.
bro. Are the days ever gonna come back when we actually play 2K? I don't know, man.
I play my career a bit, but my team
Yeah.
days, bro. Every year I try to play it, and it's just like I realize why I stopped playing.
Why did you stop playing? Because it's
It's
too much of a
terrible.
grind.
It's terrible. It's too much of a grind. They release Dark Matters the first 2 months into the game every year.
They gotta
So
bring back Spotlight Sim, bro.
yeah,
Spotlight Sim used to be this highlight of my quarantine days.
Micah, I was telling Max, I was like, I might actually have to consider new fandom in the NBA.
No, because why did my head actually go there? Because I was like, man, I'm tired of like literally. I would say 20, I would say
Not even like all
80%
those.
of the teams in the draft tonight drafted well and took a player that will
Yes,
fit going forward. And then there's
even
us just doing stupid stuff. Like I
dude,
don't want to support a team that literally does not care
even a
about what we
poverty
want.
franchise like the Hornets, a poverty franchise like the Hornets took Knipple at
Hmm.
4. Like I think that's a good pick. Like it's shooting. He can play defense. Like they are a terrible
He's a
franchise. They
hustle
have
guy
never
too. He's
competed
very
for
good.
anything. They've never won a championship, and they make a good pick in my opinion. And the
Yeah.
Raptors, who have the one of the best GMs in the league, people say like they don't. So it's just like frustrating. And not even as if I'd be like, okay, I'm an OKC fan or I'm a Houston fan now they got KD. Like just teams that know what they're doing, and you can. Yeah, I
We
don't know.
might have to scout, bro. We might have to scout because I'm typically Raptors, Lakers, Warriors. But who knows? Warriors might get the boot, man. Like my boy Clay's gone. It'll probably be Raptors, Lakers, and then we'll see who else is here.
Is Curry your
We'll
favorite
see.
player in the league?
No,
It's
LeBron.
or yeah, behind LeBron.
Curry? Nah, bro. Harden.
Crazy.
Harden's tough. I love Harden.
Harden's
Him,
amazing.
yeah, yeah, I would say Harden. LeBron, Harden, and I don't know, maybe low-key J-Dub, bro. I love the way J-Dub plays.
Jacob's nice.
Who's your favorite guys?
LeBron. Just since I watched the Lakers a lot, Luka turned into one of my favorite players.
That's valid. Yeah, that's valid.
Um, dude, as much as he's like, I like KD a lot. He's one of my favorite players, probably. Curry, all the old heads, man. I got all my life to cheer for these young guys that are 20, 25.
Facts. That's how I feel, man. Like I'm kind of like just cheering on all the guys that are like were lit during my peak childhood while they're
Dude,
still here, sort of thing.
Do you think Houston's I think they're legit contenders now.
With Common, yeah. Oh no, they traded Common.
No, for with KD.
I know, but I was thinking like
Oh
run
yeah.
Alp at the 4, Common at the 5, so you don't have to run that stupid like Steven Adams lineup. You have like an
Van
actual
Fleet,
good Ute.
Van Fleet, Amen, KD, Alp, Common.
Alp, that would have been all. That would have been hell for the league to figure out. That actually would have been hell. Okay, so thank God that's not happening. But even without him, man, they're very well set up. I'm excited to see what they do this year. I really pray for health their way, man, and health
Yeah.
for honestly the league at this point because as we both know, a lot of ACL, a lot of Achilles injuries recently, and it's honestly been on the rise. So it's scary. We honestly just have to hope for a healthy season, man, in general. Even for fantasy and stuff, man, because it sucks when your best guy goes out. You know that better than anyone.
Indeed. Chris Paul haunts me these days.
This guy is known as the IR.
Um, I'm on the side though. When this trade, I know we didn't really want to talk about trades, but I kind of just with Houston picking 10, I just wanted to get your opinion. Um, I'm not on the side that Phoenix got scammed though. Like I think they got a good return for trading KD. Obviously not compared to what they gave up to get him. They gave up Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and four firsts. But
Yeah,
besides that haul,
I think they definitely could have. Are you asking me like, do I think it's a scam?
like I don't think they got scammed. Like what they had zero leverage. Which is I guess maybe on their part. I don't know if you come out and say your number one priority is to trade Kevin Durant, then that probably lowers the leverage you have in conversations. But they got a
Very
young
true.
like for whatever it's worth, they got Jalen Green, a young star, like maybe. Um, they got Common Watch out of this, and Dylan Brooks maybe can help set a better defensive culture in Phoenix because we know they need it. I mean,
I
they
like
it was
acquiring Dylan
pathetic what
Brooks.
they were
I was
putting up
thinking maybe
before.
they'd get like a Jabari Smith in that deal somehow. Even just somebody
I
else
know,
that's
yeah, we
younger,
both.
maybe
I know,
a
I told
Reed.
you I was. Yeah, no, I don't think they were giving up Reed Shepard. Um,
Mm-mm.
what do you think? You do think Phoenix kind of got scammed?
I think Phoenix didn't receive as much as they probably could have. I was just hoping they got first instead of seconds, but as you said, like when we were talking before this, he is old man, and I think he's like on a 1 year rental sort of thing. So like you get what you kind of like you get what you get, man, at the end of the day. Like beggars can't be
Yeah.
choosers. When you're in a situation like that playing hostage with KD, it's not even worth the team chemistry. You kind of try should just try to trade him, and it's hard, especially when it's a player like of that caliber, a top 15 player all time probably, to trade him off for something that's not as valuable. But like as you said, Jalen Green's young, he's good. Sucks that they have probably I don't know, seven shooting guards right now. So there's reports that he's getting shipped out soon. So it'll be interesting to see who they get there. Hopefully not another center, hopefully not another shooting guard. But besides that, I think anybody
Yeah.
else would have them covered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you think the Houston Rockets will be at the end of the season? Next year, where would you predict them
I think
wins
they want to
wise?
wins. I'd set their wins line at 50. How many games did they win this year? Over 50, right? Yeah, they were second in the West.
Mhm.
Um, I'd set their wins line at 52, 53.
52.
Higher than
That's
that. 55 probably.
they won 52 this year. 52 and 30.
55. KD adds 3 wins.
I would even go 56. I would go 56.
I like them. They're going to be super fun to watch when they're playing. I
Facts. You'll
love
be
this for
watching all those
KD.
games. You won't be watching no Phoenix anymore, buddy.
I love this for KD, man. Like he gets a real team around him that actually plays defense, and he can come down and do his thing best, which is scoring instead of whatever he was trying to do on Phoenix. Um,
I think this is the best built team for him since the Warriors, so it'll be exciting to
by
watch.
far, by far, not even close. By far. I mean, Brooklyn was an offensive juggernaut, and they they might have won the championship in 2021 if his foot wasn't on the line. But Um,
Sure.
yeah, no, his best, I think his best since the Warriors, I would say as well. And then there's
And
other
if he wins
trades.
a
I don't
chip
know.
at this age, that is impressive, man. That is
Yeah,
very impressive.
there's other
You think
trades.
he's
I don't know if we
37?
want to really get into, but um, unless you had any thoughts on any of them.
Um, I guess you could briefly talk about the Derek White, or no, the Derek White rumors if you want to. Did you hear about the Derek White rumors? How the Raptors might be trying to trade for him?
The Raptors trying to trade for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
nah, that's not relevant anymore because it was the ninth pick and somebody for Derek White.
Oh, right.
And
The bit.
Eamon was hating on that at the time. I was like, man, I actually do not mind this. But
I
Eamon was like, nah, bro.
I think I sided with Eamon. I think I will
Yeah.
side with Eamon there. But after our pick, I
I
did
did.
not mind.
I didn't realize he was 30. I thought he was like 27. I was like, oh, he's youngish. Like, could kind of fit like the BI timeline.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I guess
man.
The Desmond Bain trade. I mean, Orlando gave up four unprotected first round picks to acquire Desmond Bain a while ago.
That's
Um,
what kind of threw me off with the KD trade. I was like, four for Bane and then a second for KD. I was like, scammer gets scammed? Scammer gets
I
scammed?
guess it
Maybe?
could throw you
No?
off, but I don't know.
I think they just overpaid for such a good fit.
It just
I think they were
shows
last in the
Orlando.
league's 3-point shooting wise last year or something.
Yeah, it's an amazing fit. I just think it shows Orlando thinks they're a lot closer than maybe other people do. And in the East this year, are they the best team in the East? Like actually,
Bro, piss off. They're not the best team in the
no,
East.
New York's probably better.
New York's better.
But like
Indy's
other than that,
better.
who's
Oh, Tyrese.
I was gonna that's what I meant. That's what I mean. Like
The Raptors. If we drafted Colin Malu, watch. Like,
oh my
actually,
God.
nah, Cleveland still.
I don't know what's happening with Cleveland. I think they're gonna make some moves.
I tried to show them some respect, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would even do with it if I were them.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. They're a weird team.
Anything else you want to go over, Micah, or any finishing thoughts or
I think that's it for now, man. I'm really excited to get into our off-season content, man. Like it's been a pretty fun season.
do
I
some more
honestly
lists?
started. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Some lists, some all-time lists, some rankings, some nice conversations. We'll have a few guests on hopefully before the end of the summer, just while people are still around if we can coordinate something. But yeah, man, I'm super hyped going forward. I know we started around like right around the tail end of the regular season and it's just been fun to talk ball and I'm excited to see where we go the rest of the summer, man.
I agree. It's gonna be a good time. Some all-time
Yeah.
rankings will spark some debates. It'll be
Some
fiery. It'll be
heated
fun.
debates.
That'll be good. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.
Peace.